Thank you all for coming, and next year I think Senator Wicker, we're going to have amplification. So I'm going to talk as loud as I possibly can for those in the back. My name is Rich Forget. I am the chair of the Political Science Department at the University of Mississippi. I recognize many of your faces. Many of you are old friends, alums of the university. We're so glad to have you here tonight. And we are so glad to be honoring Steve Guyton as our 2020. Well, I'm going to give the award momentarily, but Senator Wicker wanted very much to say a few words because I understand that these two go pretty far back. So we're going to do Senator Wicker.
Well, thank you very much. And now, Fred Wicker, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good, good.
Loud and clear.
It's a Wonderful Life. George Bailey, it took a crisis and an angel named Clarence to show to George Bailey what the world would have been like if it hadn't been for the people that George Bailey befriended and the people he helped. Fortunately tonight, there's no crisis. Steve Guyton hasn't put the deposit in the wrong place. And this is not a bridge and you are not an icy river that we're about to jump into. But Steve can look out over this crowd tonight and see the just a sampling, just a group of the people whose lives he's touched and who Steve means so much to. So thank you for being here tonight. We all have our own stories. The first time I ever met Steve Guyton, he came over to my house in 1968 to try to talk me out of running for governor of Boys State. The truth is, he had nothing to worry about. That was no threat. But then in the summer of 1969, I experienced what many of you in this audience have experienced. I learned what it felt like to become a project. And by the end of that summer, he had told me what courses to take, what professors to look for, what courses to stay away from, and what fraternities to look at, and the course of my collegiate career. The only advice he had for me was this little flirtation that I was having at that time with the Republican Party. That needed to end. There's no future in that. But I have commissioned a panel of experts, and we have come up with something that we call Steve Guyton from A to Z. Now, I don't want to talk long. I've been admonished, but I wanted to see if any of this sounded like something that y'all could identify with. This is just Steve Guyton from A to Z. A is for Archie. Steve's first major project. And he did pretty well. B is for Boys State, Steve's current major project. C is for Steve's favorite county, which is always the one he's driving through at the time. D is for Democrat, Steve's first life, as in Guyton. E is the Energizer Bunny, who never tires of encouraging. F is for future world leader, which is how Steve introduces his Boys State protege. G is for GNN, which stands for Guyton News Network. routinely scooping the competition. H is for hyper, but also, and this is in honor of my mother, for a heart of gold. I is for introductions as, you remember so-and-so. You heard it tonight. You heard it tonight. J is for Jason the Courthouse on the 4th of July, and also for the Ole Miss Journalism School. K is for Kosciuszko, a great Polish patriot and birthplace of at least one great American patriot. L is for Steve's lifetime of service. M is for mentor of many, including me. N is for never at a loss for words. O is for Oxford, where so many of us became friends with Steve. P is for Peter, Paul, and Mary. A subversive counterculture group led by AFB Director of Social Affairs, Haley Barber, and publicly denounced by Campus Senator Steve Guyton. We've got the press clippings to prove it. Q means there's no question where he stands. R is for rumor. As in, it's just a rumor. S is for sun and sand and for never driving over the speed limit. The one time he drove over the speed limit, at my urging, we saw the blue light. T stands for text message, Steve's 21st century version of the Watts line. U is for unique. What more can I say? V is for vote absentee. You got till noon on Saturday. And that is true. W is for weekly newspapers. Steve still swears by them. X is the Roman numeral 10, the approximate number of phone calls Steve makes per hour. Y is for you, a lifetime of helping our state's young people. Now really, Z was pretty easy. It's for zigzag. This describes Steve's circuitous political route from Democrat to independent, back to Democrat, and finally to Republican. But it also stands for zero. The number of times any of us have seen Steve fail to put others first. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about giving credit where credit is due. Last year, this award went to one of the great statesmen of my acquaintance, Lieutenant Governor Brad Dye, who's honored us. And tonight, for all of his service to our state, to her young men and women, and to this university, and to the memory and credit of this great department, the annual Political Science Award goes to my good friend, Stephen Lufkin Guyton.
Chip Littles is here representing my other boss, Congressman Harper, and in my honor, he has not had a drink tonight. I want to introduce my family from Kosciuszko, Holly Brown and Carl Osterhout from Kosciuszko. And my first cousin from Iuka. She's lived in Memphis a few years, but she's still from my favorite county, Iuka. Joanne Bird Holtz. Joanne Bird. I appreciate Brad Dye. I appreciate Senator Wicker and Congressman Harper in doing this. And in defense, I was an Eastland Democrat. Okay. This is Chip Runnels, a great guy from Guyton, Mississippi.
Steve Guyton introduced me to my wife. I've been married to her for 24 years. And he didn't tell you what Senator Wicker made on his ACT. He knows what everybody out there made on their townsite. Steve, on behalf of Congressman Greg Harper and his staff too, we're glad that Senator will share Steve with us for everything you've done for Girls State, Boys State, for all the young people, the military academies, and for being such a good friend of my wife.
I like her.
This flag, memento of your award, distinguished alumni.
Thank you, sir.
Steve, we have a few other things for you. One is Governor Barber would have liked to have been here this evening, but he sent you a very nice letter congratulating you on this honor. And I have two awards for you. One that I'm going to give to you, and this is for you and to keep, and one that you can hang in your office and at your home. And then we have a larger one that's going to hang in the Political Science Department's conference room as a permanent recognition of your service.